My Honda only makes 100 horsepower, so we're gonna take this slow turn and turn it into a straight bass. Previously, we welded up a new exhaust and upload the first tune on the Civic. But there's still so many things to get done in order to get this fine-tuned.
We basically dialed in the tune for the 93 pump. With all this power, we do need some braking. These brakes are not guaranteed fit, but if this braking system does work, we just put Spoon out of business. Yeah, it's pretty beat up. Now my biggest worry are these calipers are even gonna bolt up, and two, if they do bolt up, are they gonna clear the wheel?
So I went ahead and bolted these calipers up, and to my surprise, they actually fit.
Holy crap, I think it works. Now I'm not gonna keep these Brembos red. I do want to change it up because I don't think it goes with the whole blue theme.
After the test fit, I went to my local AutoZone to get some paint and started setting these right away. This is not the best mask, but hey, better than nothing. For being a rattle can job, I don't think I did too bad. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done. The last thing to do was bleed the brakes, but something went wrong. You could see the screw completely snapped off. Whoever tightened it before over-tightened it, which caused this to snap. I thought it was gonna get better, but it didn't. Now, part of the extractor is inside the bleeder screw, so, oh my god. Hey guys, Chris Fix here, and today I'm gonna show you how to fix your... The caliper was far from gone, so unfortunately I had to order another one.
Here we go again.
With the new caliper, I was able to bleed the brakes, so now it's time to move on to the next thing. The downpipe is so close to the radiator. We're gonna make sure that it doesn't overheat by doing this. I've seen a lot of guys on the internet that runs heat wrap, so I was curious to myself if this actually works. The package says it reduces up to 50%. Let's see if that actually is true. Everything's in. You can see the whole downpipe is wrapped up, and also the dump tube as well. I'm just trying to reduce as much heat as possible. This thing does get very hot.
Next, we have something new for the hatch, and it's gonna make this look 10 times better. Chris at Street Legacy sent us all kinds of bolts for the hatch to make it feel brand new. You can see that this bolt has definitely seen better days.
All these hardware bolts fit like OEM, so we're gonna replace them all and make the hatch look new.
They have overspray on them just because when I painted the engine bay, look at this nut compared to this nut. I mean, look at that. It looks so much shinier. That looks so much better.
The cool thing about Street Legacy is if you're needing a bolt that is not on their website, shoot them an email and they could get the bolt for you.
Look at that difference. I mean, look at that. Compared to before, one is still missing.
If you guys are needing any hardware bolts for your vehicle, make sure to hit up Street Legacy in the description.
Look at that. So much better. It's summer and it's super hot outside. This headlight housing is from EFB Motorsports, and basically what this does, it acts as an air duct with the functional low beam, high beam, and your signal as well. All right. The good thing about this headlight is that it's plug and play. Yo, that's pretty sick. Turn signal left. Look at that. It works. The whole strip lights up. Here it is with the headlight duct. I'm gonna run this headlight duct for a little bit because it's pretty hot in the summer.
Since the 93 tune is done, I want a little bit more power, so we're gonna run some E85. E85 is basically almost the same octane as race fuel, so that's what we're gonna run, and it's a little bit safer to crank up the boost. We do need to upgrade the lines to AN, because if we keep the stock lines, the ethanol could actually corrode it. I didn't know what I was doing, so I invited a friend over to help me with the lines, because this could be a serious issue if something actually catches on fire. The feed and return line, so we don't need these anymore.
I never thought I would go AN. Now here we are. I'm gonna say goodbye to this old fuel pressure gauge. To top it off, we have our Deech work gauge. We did delete the filter. We routed the feed. As you can see, this is where the lines go under the subframe to the flex fuel sensor and the fuel filter. I tucked under the original track that come with the car.
After we upgraded the fuel lines, it was time to come back to the drawing board because the car was still overheating. I hit up Hybrid Racing to see what they could do, and they sent me out a low thermostat.
What this thermostat does is that when your engine gets at operating temp, once it hits that point, this lower part of the radiator hose will start to open. It'll flow cooler coolant.
Because this low thermostat opens a little bit earlier, I'm hoping this will cool down the engine a lot more.
Here's the difference between the old one and the new one. All right, the car is on. I'm gonna let this open for a little bit so that way it can bleed out any air. The car is fully warmed up. The fans were kicking on just a minute ago. And as you can see, the temp is idling at 179, which is surprising. Usually idles at like 195.
With the new thermostat in, I still wanted to cool it even more by adding a new spout fan. This is rated for a higher CFM, which means it could blow more air.
Stock fan is around 700 to 800 CFM. This is about 1600 CFMs. Where I'm from, it gets extremely hot, reaching temperatures to 95 to almost 100 degrees. If you overheat a lot, can't really make much power, and that could risk the engine having a failure. Yo, this thing is actually pretty hefty. We're definitely gonna need to run a relay because this is gonna draw some major power. Spout fan is about 2 inches, 3 inches or so, and you can see the original fan is about like 1.5 inches. Okay. It's a good thing that we're replacing this anyways, because look, the downpipe literally melted off some of the plastic.
Putting the new fan in was actually pretty tight, so I had to take off the bumper.
Since this fan is quite bigger, we're gonna have to remove the charge pipe in order to fit it in. So I got the radiator fan in, but not how I want it. So we're gonna make a hole a little bit bigger so that way it's secure. For how big it is, it does fit quite well, but it does still hit the downpipe down there. I wanna see if I can move this radiator down just a little bit. Don't worry, I'm a professional. Finally got the fan to work, and you could see it clears just barely with the downpipe. There is probably like 1 mil or 2 of space between that downpipe. Check that out. Fan is blowing pretty hard. So I checked on Honda, it's running at 183 right now. So, but that's only idling. So we're gonna see how it runs when it's driving.
After doing a few pulls, the spout fan actually helped a lot. However, I did drive the car at night, which means the daytime will most likely overheat.
We are finally gonna say goodbye to the black fenders. At times I do like the black look, but at the same time, I do want to paint match like how it was with the fender. 400 grit. The fender is officially scratched now, and the reason why we want it scratched so that way the paint could stick. I don't have masking paper, so I'm gonna use trash bags. Every section of this fender is now covered up. We're always doing something. Time for the white. Now this is paint matched to the car. So cool thing about this compared to other rattle cans that are clear base, this has a hardener in it, which means you take this red pop it underneath where it'll activate the hardener, harden the paint. Not only will it last longer, but also it'll make it a lot shinier.
This clear was pretty amazing because with this one coat of clear, this is how it looked.
All right, so there we have it, our paint match fender.
Unfortunately, the tune for the Civic is still not done, and it's having an overheating issue still after all the mods we put left and right. Comment down below what I should do to fix this overheating issue. The Civic is having a hard time keeping up with the heat, so I'm really lost and I don't know what to do. I'm hoping that ethanol changes the temps, but there's only so much I could do.